Okay, so this is my perpetual motion machine, one of them. I saw this in another person's tutorial, so I thought I might as well do it myself. It's actually very easy to do. I've had this one running for about 3 minutes now without it crashing or doing anything stupid like that. And that's just one of 3 types that I've made. There's obviously this one, which is very basic. It's really easy to make. You have, let's see if I can get this to stop. Okay, so this is how you start. So you have a flat area. I mean, it doesn't really matter how long it is, but you definitely want to have 2 sections that are right next to each other. Most boosters work like that. So first you open up your first area. This is where your actual booster is going to go, the booster that keeps the second booster in motion. So first we're going to make the booster that's going to be in constant motion. And we do this like so, and then you put a block on top of your rail, making your, it basically creates a circle, but the last part of the circle is on top of the block, which gives you a curve, which once you destroy the block allows the minecart to go back onto the main track. So you do that to both sides. Oops. Okay. Like that. Then destroy that. Next you put in your actual booster. Okay. And then to finish off you set your last booster, the cart that's going to be boosted. And there we have it. The first out of 3 of my perpetual motion boosters. And let's get over to the second one. This one's more of a classic. I've seen a couple videos with this type. I don't think I'm actually doing it exactly right because mine's not exactly how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the glitch where both minecarts are actually attached to each other, and this kind of works, but it doesn't work as well as I'd like. But this is another form of perpetual motion. I don't actually need the second cart there. The second cart that is just there because I also wanted to test out the other type of perpetual motion where you have 2 carts that are stuck together, so they give you an extremely long amount of force, a force that actually lasts for about, from what I've read, 5 minutes, but not certain on that. Then we have my third perpetual motion booster. This one's been running for about 8 minutes now. And as you can see, it just keeps on going. It's similar to the other one that I was showing you, the small one, the one that had only 2 curves that were facing the same direction. And I won't actually go into detail on this one just because I don't want to actually mess up the looping on it. I want it to actually stay so I can show that it's perpetual motion. It's not going to stop or end its loop at any time. But basically you create your track, and you want to actually create the curve first, and you make it into like one of those gangster type S's, if you know what I'm talking about, the ones that have an extended midsection. That's how I made this one, and I did it on both sides. That way it'll go back onto the main track again. Once it's done, once it hits that around that curve, it comes back on and hits the booster again. Okay. This one I've had going for, if that one's been going for 9 minutes, this one's probably been going for about 6. And let's go back to the other one. And that one is still running. Now then we have over here the more basic type, the type that normally is seen in a Minecraft circuit. Or not Minecraft circuit, the Minecraft boosting system. The only problem with this one is that over time it'll actually crash because the Minecraft's not actually made to handle perpetual motion. It gets up to like an extreme. It gets up to an infinite amount of force or energy that's present, and crashes the game because the game's code isn't meant to handle this sort of system. It's not meant to handle a perpetual motion system where the force is actually in an infinite, well, hypothetically infinite loop where the force is actually increasing exponentially. This type of loop will almost always crash. Any looping system that I've seen like this has always crashed, at least in my servers. And let's see, we have more of the other type down here. Basically the same type as I had going on the other one. The one where it actually crashes. It's just a basic loop of track connected to a resetting booster. Now as you can see, this one, if I had it started about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, and this one didn't actually keep going. It actually stopped at a point, which is normal for this type of booster. And yeah, just it's not a very effective booster if you want something that, like for my train station here, this type of booster. If I'm going to go to a base, I want my booster to actually be ready for me when I come back. So like when I push on the pad, it's not going to actually connect because obviously the booster is not being boosted by the other booster. So as you can see, the same problem exists in all regular loop boosters. The only way to really fix this is to create a booster that functions slightly different. I'm not certain exactly how it works, but just from what I've seen, the type of booster that I created that actually keeps its motion for an indefinite period of time, as far as I can tell, it slows it. The reason why it is able to do that is because as it's increasing its speed on the boost, on the curves it's also decreasing slightly, so it kind of cancels itself out and allows for a very steady, very long boost. Let's see, back here. And as you can see, those two are still running successfully. That one is still running. And we're at the 10-minute mark, at least the 10-minute mark for this one, and it's still going consistently. It hasn't stopped yet. Then we have an extremely basic one, which is a manual reset. But the only reason I really have the manual reset boosters is because this is intended for entrance and then exit. Because this is, after all, my mining system down here. So I have my mine carts on a loop. The only thing that stinks is I just figured this out tonight, and earlier today I just got finished wiring this whole system. Hold on a sec here, this is kind of... Just got finished wiring the whole system. And redstone wiring, when I didn't actually know exactly how to do it at the time, so yeah. RS NOR latches can be quite pain to program or actually create when you're doing it with a slightly different setup. And if anyone wants it, I could actually go into detail how that's done. And I'll also give credit to where it's due for that, because I did see it on YouTube, but the guy didn't really go into too much detail, and I would have liked to see a tutorial similar to that one where you can actually just look at the YouTube video and create it. As you can see, I have right here I have a split on my track because I want it to be able to boost it going up both ways. Yeah, sorry this is taking so long, but it does take a little while. Let's just, that way I can get to my spawn point quicker. And out of my way, stupid pig. Great. Over here I have other stuff that I've been working on, like a clock. I mean, I saw it on another YouTube video on a clock, so I decided to make that. And this is supposed to be my holding station for my minecart until I want to bring it out. But like I said before, this type of loop crashes. And the pressure pad, as you can see, of course it's kind of dark, so I might as well put a light out real quick. See, when I press the pressure pad, it cuts off the loop and I get a minecart. And that's the end of my